Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of LivingYosh. I have an extremely special guest today, someone who I
Okay.
know I'm going to be friends with long term if he lets me be friends with him, because you are
What
a
was that?
mentor of all mentors. I want to just get to know you. I want to know how it all started, when you're young, when you're a little bit older, when you got into podcasts. I just want to know your story because I know you're going to be an influence to me. I lost you. I lost you. I guess we're going to start here, which everyone could obviously see because I think almost everyone knows you. But my guest today is Kelly Siegel, who my good friend who I've met, Sean Franks, introduced me to you. And I'm honored to have you on my show because I look up to him, and a friend of his is someone that I hope will be a friend of mine in the future because he's a mentor of mine. And so are you, based on I've read a little bit about your story and what you've been through. And so I wanted, if it's okay, Kelly, can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing? Can we start there, as where you grew up and what it was like being, a child like 20 years ago?
Well, I wasn't a child 20 years ago. I'm 50 years old, so it was pretty much for 40 years ago. So we're in a different world, man. It's a different world. It's a different world 10 years ago. It's a different world 15 years ago. It's a different world 1 year ago. And that's what's beautiful about living is you don't take it too seriously because it's all going to change. But to answer your question, I grew up, which is funny. I grew up in off of 8 Mile, the same 8 Mile that Eminem made famous
No
with his
way.
movie. I went to high school with Eminem for a year. His baby mama grew up for me her entire life from kindergarten all the way through high school, 2 streets away. So the way that he portrayed us in in that movie, I shouldn't say us, I wasn't a part of, but that's the way we grew up
No
was the
way.
betrayal, the drinking, the drugs, the driving around, going to clubs. It was just like that, man. It was fit or be tied, man. It was survival of the fittest. So much so that I want to try to get Em on the show. And we're going to talk about all of our friends that we hung out with in high school are dead or in jail. Like he and I are the only two that I know of that used to party together that are still around.
How did you
And
survive?
how do we survive? It's a good question I would ask him. I think I was meant for something higher. I believe that I'm the chosen one and God had bigger plans for me. And how did I survive? Is I made the decision that when I graduated high school, I got the heck out of. We grew up in a city called Warren, Michigan, and it was just off of 8 Mile, and I got out of there. I ran for college as far away as I possibly could get from my high school friends. So, if you want to change something, if nothing's changed, nothing changes. So if you want to up level your life, you're going to have to make change. You're going to have to change the people around you. You're going to have to change your environment. But what happens is we all stay in the same environment that made us sick with the same people that made us sick. And we wonder why we're not making any change.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have to make massive change. So here I was destined to be a bum, dead, or in jail. And those of you that know me knows that I still took a little bit of ghetto with me when I went to college because I got arrested for selling drugs. It was all over CNN. And I made some dumb mistakes, but I paid for them and did my time. And I'm here to tell people of what not to do. So we grew up parents of alcoholic and drug addicted parents, kids of drug addicted parents. And it was just survival of the fittest. And if you can imagine it, it happened to us. Leaving a party, shot at, I've been stabbed. It was insane. And this is, like I said, 35 years ago.
So how did you ever think that you'd have a normal life based on you basically grew up with, like, like when you see in the movies, like, I'm here forever. I'm never leaving this town. This is where I am. There's no hope. I have no confidence in myself. This is how it's going to be.
I ever think I was going to leave there? Absolutely. I knew I was bigger than that town. Number one. Number two is that was our normal. You're 43. I spent from what is going on?
Maybe we have to do a sign language interview. Man, that was getting so good.
So you asked me a question about, let's continue. It was, did I ever think I was going to get out and I was going to live a normal life? Yes, I knew I was going to get out. I knew I was destined for more. I could feel it in my heart and my soul. I knew that, and part of it was my biological father, his parents were well off. So every once in a while I'd get to see them and I'd get to see what a normal, quote unquote normal. But I would say to you that chaos and that drama and that starvation was all normal to me, quote unquote normal. It wasn't till 43 that I started realizing that my normal was not normal. But who says anything's normal?
I hope
To
nobody.
me, normal is looking in the mirror and liking that guy and having peace in your heart. That's normal. That's success. Your normal is different than my normal. So who says anything's normal? I think that's just relative. So yes, I knew I was going to get out, and I knew that there was a better way, but I did not know how hard it was going to be to create this peaceful of a life. And it's been, 35-year battle.
Well, you started working at an early age, right? Was that part of the plan to get out of there?
Well, that was the part of the plan to get food. So growing up, my parents were
Kelly, I'm so
drunks.
sorry, man.
And, it made me who I am. And maybe everything happens for you. That's what people tell you. And what do you mean that you got beat and you got starved and you got punished and you were just and how is that for you? Because it made me harder than life. I got this big muscular body because my stepfather was huge and would pummel me, and then my mother would pummel me. So I said, I'm going to get big and nobody's going to pummel me. And then it's funny, I didn't even realize this. All of my logos are shields so I can protect everybody.
Nice.
So I pay it forward, everything I do. And now I'm big and I walk into rooms and everybody wants to talk to me. So everything happens for me. Could I have used a little more love? Yeah, I wanted some more love. That's why I get close to people like you and Sean and all of my people that are in my ecosystem. So
So what did scare you as a kid? It sounds like you've been through everything. Wow.
I was a scared little boy, which prior to doing all of this work on my inner child, I would have told you that I had used. As a matter of fact, there's podcasts when I first started in this field where I'd say I used up all my fear because that's what I thought at the time. Because I felt like I feared nothing. The average day to day stuff, you can't scare me. We went to a baseball game the other night, and I was with my lawyer and my kid and her boyfriend, and we're driving through the ghetto, and they're nervous, and I'm just like, "What are you guys nervous about?" Like, I go to
Was
pull into
this
a gas station, and my lawyer's like, "Oh, you can't stop here." I was like, "Dude, it's me. I'm carrying a gun. It's me. We're fine. Don't worry about it." That kind of stuff doesn't scare me. But what was operating underneath, and this is what I want your listeners to understand, that fear was with me operating in my subconscious and became my ceiling. So I could only build my company so far. I could only build my body so far. I could get right to the cusp of where I could say I was successful, but I couldn't break through because that fear of being successful was holding me back and I didn't know about it. So, but I will tell you, I've integrated it, and it was a very simple thing. It was fear and worthiness and unlovability. And I just felt like I was a victim and I was supposed to be a victim. And I made that come true time and time and time and time.
Who did you go to when you were sad? Or there wasn't even anybody?
Nobody else. It was me, myself.
Man.
It's sad. You just hit me in the heart, and I'll be
I'm
honest.
sorry. I
No, no,
didn't
no,
mean to
no,
do
no, no,
that.
no,
I
no. I want people
apologize.
to know because A, it shows you how hard my life was, but B, it shows that there's people nowadays. You don't have to be alone. So when I went through my major revelation during the pandemic, I had people that didn't even know me as mentors: Ed Milet, Aubrey Marcus, and I got them from the internet. My stuff is all free. I'm not trying to sell anybody a coaching platform or anything. I write books, I give them away free. I do podcasts, I give them away free because I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. It was horrible, but I live to tell about it, and I'm going to tell more. And today, with journaling, AI, and social media, there's people that care and want to listen. So if you're battling alone, don't. There's plenty of people. As a matter of fact, I give out my email all the time. Kelly at harderthanlife.com. If
I
you are ever
totally
feeling
agree.
alone,
I couldn't
send
have.
me an email. I will respond. It might take me a day, but I will respond and I will cheer you up. So I didn't have anybody during the pandemic. I chose to isolate because that was my familiarity because I grew up alone. I've battled everything alone. I chose to go through a hard point in my life alone. I don't do that anymore. Now I reach out to, I have an amazing friend base, starting with, John Gordon, the aforementioned Ed Milet, who I've become friends with now. So I have a good group of people. And frankly, my standards and boundaries are so high that anybody that's in my ecosystem is pretty much real good.
You can't do it on your own. My situation, I when I felt alone, I felt the lowest, and that's why I needed people around me. Whether it's you need somebody for this, somebody for that. It's to anyone who says I'm tough enough to do it on my own. I'm sorry.
Let's define that.
Okay,
There's being alone and then there's being lonely.
okay.
I spend a lot of time alone and I'm not lonely. I've spent a lot of time in rooms with hundreds of people and felt alone and lonely. So I'm not alone when I'm by myself. I'm with my thoughts. I'm with God. I'm with peace. I'm with in my purpose. So I would tell you that, and I'm not trying to coach you,
No, no, no. I'm
but I'm
happy you
telling you
said
that
that.
I picking up that little feeling of there's your portal of what you need to work on or don't need to work on. You just should work on it.
No,
There's a
I love that.
loneliness of you. And with me, there's a peacefulness. You can do it alone because I did it, but you don't freaking have to. You want to go faster, go alone. You want to go further, go together.
So I no, I'm happy you said it because there are exceptions. When I was incarcerated and I was put by myself for 7 days, that was the strongest moment I've ever had in my whole life. Because I wasn't alone. I was with God and I was close to God, not to get overly spiritual, because my choice was to roll over and die or to use whatever tools I have around, which was a book and God. So it was actually very therapeutic to actually have a moment where you're just like, wait a second, if I don't have somebody around, how am I going to survive? And am I going to survive? So it's almost like
Yep.
I tell people like take a moment to be alone, put your phone aside, put all the TV, all the distractions, all the people, and it gives you a chance to figure it out. Even when I was on house arrest, it was just me and my dog. And what was I going to do all day? Just like fall asleep. So I use that time to figure it out. And sometimes we go from 0 to 60 so fast, we don't figure it out. So I definitely agree with you. You're never alone unless you want to feel like you're alone.
And I would tell the listeners that can't be alone to be alone
Yeah,
because what do they say? I heard a passage. If God wanted to put the secret to happiness, he'd put it in stillness, under stillness, silence, and solitude. That's when I figured out who I was. In today's digital age with the phone, we're never just alone and peaceful.
that's
It's
right.
distraction. Everything is a dopamine distraction pulling on your thing. I encourage everybody take a phone vacation, set that
Yeah.
down for 24 hours. If you can do it for a week, do that. You will find things out about yourself that you didn't even know existed. And most people can't. But I did the same thing you did. I got sentenced to jail and nothing like taking your freedom away to realize how precious it is.
I'm telling you,
What
like
did you I don't know your story. What'd you go to jail for?
I got pulled over when I was taking my daughter home because she didn't go to school that day. I got pulled over, and then eventually the cop told me to get back in my car, and I saw my house was raided. There's bulletproof trucks, guys with huge guns, everything you could think of. I still didn't know what was going on. Eventually, when got into my house, I found that I was in the Amazon business. That one of my suppliers who I was introduced to by a very good friend, very wealthy person, he was having people steal stuff, bring it to him, and selling it to me. That person got killed. The person that was selling stuff to me. And after a long investigation, they had to pin somebody. So there's a big news story. They had the state attorney's office, the Ashley Moody, everyone you could think of from Broward on a stage saying, we got him. I was literally on a family tree with me, the head. They called me a mob boss. I was charged with racketeering, with money laundering, tons of counts of dealing in stolen property. So I got $1 million bond, 2.5 years of house arrest. I finally plead in February, not because I didn't think I would win, but the way they termed the charges, and also my family was falling apart as strong as I was. I have three little kids, and they had to deal with a dad who was there but didn't feel like he was there because I felt worthless most of the time. I wasn't allowed to work. I couldn't even take my little son to the park. So I guess it hits really close to home when we talk about loneliness, because that's why I felt like I was going to tear up, because I felt like my kids were alone. They didn't have their dad for such a long time. So yeah, that's in that's that's what happened to me.
Felony?
I do. I had to agree to one.
That's the bad part about our criminal. It's a criminal injustice system. It really is. I got the same thing. I was facing 60 years
30.
and they had nothing on me. And
Yeah.
what they did is they went to all of the people that were around me and indicted all of them and said, we're
Yep.
going to throw the book at you unless you testify against Kelly. Now, The difference between you and me, and I will say this because it's been expunged and it's 25 years ago or 30 years ago, is I was doing it. I was selling massive amounts of drugs. I mean, we were importing 40, 50 pounds of weed a week from Mexico. We were bringing in kilos of cocaine. So I was doing it. So I was not innocent. So I deserved it. And truthfully, had I not gone to jail, I probably wouldn't have learned my lesson, because the first second I walked into that jail cell and I lost my freedom, I started crying and I realized the consequences of my actions. And I went, that's when self-awareness really kicked in. Like, man, I did this. So the pain about it is it took, once you make that mistake and get caught up, it takes forever to get out of it. So I would encourage people, don't make that mistake, even if you don't know about it. It's something you do not want to get mixed up with, is Johnny Law. And no, they don't usually win, and they will, I hate to say this, bend the truth to get what they want. So I ended up doing a year, facing 60, and let's not mince words, I was doing it. It just, they were sloppy with their investigation. And my lawyer at the last second said, they're giving you a year. They're going to suspend 8 months of the sentence. You got to do 4 months. And I was like, he's like, you can do 4 months standing on your head. But
That's
it
funny.
sounds
Everyone
like
said to me I wouldn't survive a day.
dude, it did, it sucked, man. You know, you've been in, there ain't nothing like getting your freedom taken away. Nothing. That 4 months took forever. And then they delayed my release because they're like, we don't see the suspension paperwork for the 8 months. And then they just kept messing with me. And I was on probation, and they would show up at my house when I started a company. And I'm like, I finally had to sue them, and they put me on non-reporting, and then the law changed and I was able to get it expunged, and it's like it never happened. But I had to jump through hoops. But again, I think that also made me tougher than nails to realize that you're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
Not going to stop me. Impossible only describes a degree of difficulty. And when most people give up, I'm just getting warmed up. Doubt me. That'll be fun.
I thought I knew how to deal with crap, but now I know how to deal with crap in a way that I knew I just don't have patience for it anymore. Like
How'd you do it? What's your number? I got one word. How did you do it?
well, the main thing I did was I found myself. And I really mean that. Like I took time to find out what I want in life, which I realized that I don't want to just have the typical life where you live to die. I want to do more. And now I just strive to be something more than I ever was. Like I think sky is the limit. That was my answer. That I realized that I never had it before, and now I'm looking for it. And it makes you feel great. It makes you feel like I have a goal in life. I'm not just gonna be that white picket fence, live your life until the end. I want to do so much more. And that's how I'm going to do, because I live every day as I could do something today, not
So
wait till tomorrow.
your one word is presence. It's a good word.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
being
That's great.
present.
Yeah. I
I
love
was
that.
going to say surrender, but yours is better. I like presence. But what do they say? Adversity's here, it just left, or it's on its way. Today's a gift, so be present.
Every
That's what
day
I
is
do.
so important. Like
I
I don't want to be like, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't like that anymore. Like I don't,
I find it funny that you got arrested after Yom Kippur. Like you're like, good, I got in the book of life. I'm good to
I
go.
know.
And then, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh my God, of all days, like how did you pick today? But then I'm like, you know what? But as time went by, because I got more spiritual, I'm like, you know what? God is giving me more attention than ever. Like he's really walking this whole journey with me. Like he's holding my hand, but I don't understand it yet. But then I started to understand it. Like you have more of a goal for me than I would have thought. And you picked me because it could have been anyone else. And you know that I'm going to deal with it the right way. I think everyone needs to look at journeys that way, that why did you pick me? And it's not just because you hate me. It's because you want something from me. You think that I can do it. Why does anyone accomplish anything? Why does anyone have any gift? Whether you're a musician, whether you're a baseball player, God picks you for a reason, because he knows you're going to do it the way that you're supposed to do it. And if you don't, that's your choice. That's how I look at
Beautiful.
it.
Beautiful.
I was given a
I
gift.
can't even add to that, my brother. It's
It was a gift. What I went through was a gift. It sucks, but it was a gift. Look
you
at
keep
you.
looking at it
You
like
took
that.
you did it too. You took your gift and now you're helping so many people. Like some people don't see that because we don't open our eyes. We don't sit down and get incarcerated and think about our life.
Well, I mean, truthfully, I just got caught up. I mean, the true thing was, it was very simple. I grew up in the ghetto and had access to drugs. I was in a fraternity in college that liked drugs. I put two and two together. And the next thing you know, I was a drug dealer.
Well, I used to sell hot dogs in my high school because kids like hot dogs, whatever they like. If they like drugs, then maybe. But Kelly, what I'm saying is exactly it's what you do with it. It's all about what you do with your journey that matters. Anyone could go through anything, but it's what you do with it.
Yeah. And we all matter, Yosh. We all matter, no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why we're here. We're here for a reason. And it makes me sad to see people not living in their purpose or in their reason. Like,
me
just
too.
you said it, people will die in their 80s, but they never lived a day in their life. So I say everything. We don't live once. We live every day. We only die once.
So you're
People
right.
need to
Presence.
understand that. And we're all going to die.
Yeah,
And people need to realize that. They think that it's not me. I'm not going to happen someday in the very far future. But I got a newsflash. You're 43. I'm 50. I'm on the back nine. And I've spent a good part of 20, 25 years ignorant and drunk and high and stupid and just in the cloud and in a funk. And that's no way to live, man. If anybody of your listeners are like that, reach out to me. I'll point you in the right direction,
you
especially if you're
need
in.
to go through that though to become what you are today. Like you said,
Yeah. I
it
mean,
sucks. It sucks. Like you said, and I say it sucks, but look at you today. Look at you today. You're a difference maker, and people need you. People need your show. People need your story to better themselves.
what else can I answer for you?
So I want to know because, as you know, I'm still kind of learning about podcasts. When did you think people want to listen to your voice? When did you have that moment where, like, wait a second, people are listening to me. People like what I have to say.
That's a good question. I had an inkling during the pandemic. I was going through a custody battle. I wrote about it in my book, Harder Than Life. As a matter of fact, if anybody from the show wants the books, they email me, Kelly at harderthanlife.com. Just put Yosh in the subject line and just say, please send me the books. I'll send them to you electronically. You can read in Harder Than Life all about this strife. But basically, during the pandemic, I was in a bad custody battle. And I just started grabbing my phone because I was alone because my daughter got taken away. And I just started grabbing my phone and posting daily motivational messages. And it was just, they were short and sweet. And at that time, Instagram, I think, only let you do 30-second stories. And I just kept posting them. And I was getting, started off like 5 people. Then I went to like 100. Then I went to 1,000. Then I went to 10,000. And
Jeez,
one day I missed and I got tons of messages from people going, hey, where's your message? And it was
man, that's so
funny
cool.
because both of my lawyers were like, stop posting those. They're going to use it against us. I said, not a chance. Not a chance. I don't give a crap. I'm going to do this. And if they use my positivity against me, good luck. And everything worked out and they never used anything. So I had an inkling that people like that, but that was the beginning of my journey. And I still had this angst and fear and scarcity. And you could hear it in my tone. And now when you hear me, I'm pretty calm, cool, collected because I've done since then talk therapy, hypnotherapy, EMDR therapy, emotional intelligence coaching, plant medicine, IFS therapy, and I think that and nonstop coaching. So I can technically coach, but I have coaches that are coaching me. I have this method called the TLC method: train, learn, coach. You train your mind through working out, train your mind through meditation, you train your body through working out daily, meditation and working out. You learn by podcasts and reading 10 pages a day. And then you have a coach and a counselor. So train, learn, coach. I live by that and I do it all the time. So having gone through all that stuff, I'm able to come from love and abundance and realize that I'm just a normal dude, but I am accepting where I'm supposed to be going. And it is a leader. And that wasn't
It
always,
is.
it didn't always feel that way. It's like our podcast is still growing. And here shortly, we're expecting a hockey stick for it to shoot right up. And it's a marathon, not a sprint. 3.5 years into this, and we're just getting warmed up.
That's
And that's
awesome.
literally what it is. It's consistency and never giving up and
But
keep going
you're
and
real,
tweaking.
man. You have a real story and you're a real person. Like, I'm not trying to bash other shows or podcasts, but like, you say it as it is. That helps. That's what people want to hear these days. Even with all the crap that's out there on social media, nobody wants to hear that crap. People really want someone they can relate to. When I was going through my struggle, it was nice to hear my friends say, everything's going to be okay. But I had to find someone I could relate to. And people like you can relate. People want to hear, like, what, we all go through struggles. We all get out of them somehow, but we're all different. That's what we need to hear more than ever today. I really
Yeah.
believe that.
I agree. But the toxic positivity, the Pollyanna positivity, I see it too. It drives me insane. All the filters that I see on
Yeah,
social
man.
media, all the curations. I post bad days. I let out, when things aren't good. Like I was in the middle of my IFS therapy, man. I just started posting like I am not in a good spot right now. I went through 15 straight days of heightened anxiety, and that was
Jeez.
some massive chain coming out of moving through my body and being released. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't take any kind of prescription meds. So it was me and my anxiety. And I got a newsflash. I was speaking, was running my company, doing the podcasts, and there was no time to pause. Now I figured out I have to work in downtime for me. Like tomorrow, I'm jumping on a plane going to Montana, and I'm going to go out in the country and just take some
I would
me time.
love to do that, man.
And I
Unfortunately, I
need
can't
it.
go
You
anywhere.
have to, man.
I can't go anywhere right now, unfortunately.
I know that sucks, but you know what? It's better than being in jail, right?
Yeah, I know. No, probation's not so bad, man.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a lot of people are locked in jail that shouldn't be in there, especially any drug offense. That since technically what I got arrested for is legal now.
I know. I was gonna
I mean,
say, like, you picked the
at
wrong
best we were
time.
selling some illegal drugs, but the biggest part was weed, and now it's
Yeah,
legal.
I
Not
know.
legal in Florida, but it will be, and it's legal here in
It will be.
Michigan.
What's your daily routine? You get up. Can you just run me through it?
Okay,
I want
I
to know
will.
what your diet is. I'm being serious because I'm training for a marathon. I'm not going to talk about myself a lot, but before this all happened, I was training for my first full marathon. I've done a lot of half marathons. I was in the best shape of my life. Like I was running like 100 miles a month, whatever or more. I was in the gym almost every day, and then I got depressed, so I lost it. Now I'm training all over again. It's really hard to commit again. Like it's hard to start over.
You say it's hard, but I
No,
will
I
tell you
know.
this much:
I know. That's why I need you on my show. I need to hear this.
you freaking runners are something else. I tried to psych myself out to say, "Hey, let's do a marathon," and every time my body's like, "No, just not gonna happen." Because it sounds, anything that scares me or sounds like a major challenge, I want to do it. But I think my ego is just saying, no, we've
The
reached our
best
limit
part
when
is
it
getting
comes
the
to
belt.
26.2. I'm 215 pounds of solid muscle. I'm 5'9".
Yeah, that's a lot to
And
run.
yeah, my hips and knees are just years. I've been working out for 35 years strong. So people
Jeez.
sit here and go, "You take steroids." I was like, "Oh, really? Because would you like to go back to my 20 year how old
Wait, who would say
I was?"
that to your face? I would never say
No.
like that
No,
to
nobody
you.
says that. They do it on the comments.
Okay, I was
And
gonna
you know
say,
what's funny? I've been posting more of my workouts, and people have stopped doing that. Once in a while, I'll get some hater going, "Your form is off." And I'm like, whatever.
the hell?
But you asked me what day. So this is what I do. Wake up at 3:59 every day, even on the
Wait,
weekend.
in the morning?
3:59 in the morning.
God, I thought
And
I get up at 5. Okay.
yeah, now I get up at 3:59 and I immediately start a meditation and a priming exercise. Whole thing takes me about 15, maybe 20 minutes. And I just immediately, since you're already in your sleep, I'm pretty much in my beta phase. So I drop right in and jump right into a meditation and just start my day off calm. And then I prime for what I want my life to be. And it's you imagine where peace and happiness is. For me, it's in Florida on my boat with the woman of my dreams, my dog, just and a cigar. And so I think about that and I feel the feelings because feelings, then you'll create it. And right when I'm done with that, I walk into the bathroom, get a big glass of water, high five myself in the mirror. I'm telling you, this is exactly what I do every
No,
day.
I'm listening.
I
I love it.
change. And if I'm got up quickly, I usually will sit down and do some journaling. But if I don't, then I'll shoot to the gym, train like a madman, come back, then journal, shower, and then make breakfast for my daughter and get her off to school. We have breakfast together every morning. Then I go to my office, work all day. I have a little bit of time where I section off creativity time, where if I got a podcast prep or I'm in the process of writing my third book right now. So I'll write a chapter on that or something. And then I work all day. I come home, I cook dinner with my daughter, I read, go to bed. rinse, repeat. And I'm in bed by 9 o'clock latest. When you get up at 4, you got to go to bed by 9. And it's
So
rinse,
that's what I
repeat
was gonna ask you
every
because
day.
I was waiting when my house arrest ended. I felt like I had so much energy because I like it was like stored energy. I was getting up at 3:30. I was getting up at 4, and I was doing that for like a month. But then I started doing it more and more, and I would just crash in the middle of the day. So how do you keep it? How do you keep up the energy? What is that?
This is the first form energy drink. No, I run on caffeine and protein, man.
Okay, and that's okay. That's
It's okay, but it's not. You just have to be very smart about it. So right about 2, 3 o'clock is the last time that I can have any caffeine, and I just had it. So it's not every day. Mine is very simple. If I get a good solid 7 to 8 hours sleep, I'm good. I will not crash. But if I get anything under 7 hours of sleep, I'll hit the crash at 2:30.
wife just put me on creatine because I think she thinks my memory's going. If that makes sense.
Well, we're getting old and it does happen. The things that used to come to me like this were simple. But
Seriously, man.
also too, the reason why I'm so big is I work out really intense and heavy.
Okay.
Like I post some of the things that people are like,
I
you're
know, I see them.
insane. I mean, I'm 50 years old and we walked into a gym in Fort Lauderdale and they had 150-pound dumbbells. I'm like, I'm taking those things for a ride. And what I didn't post is that was like my 10th set. And I
Holy
just ripped them
crap,
out like it
man.
was nothing. And people are like, dude. So part of that is my childhood anger, man. This is my suit of armor protecting against my
I was
my
just gonna ask
stepfather.
that how do you deal with anger? You just answered the question by working
Well,
out.
it's how I used to. I don't get angry anymore,
You're
Yosh. I
so
don't.
lucky, man.
I just breathe through it, and I just realize that if you get angry, that's God, the universe telling you you have to process something that this is what you need to up level. It's all AKA a trigger. That is your portal to what needs addressing. So write that down in your journal and work on it because that's
Yeah,
got power over you. It's like going to jail. Like the man has power over you. You don't want anybody to have power. You can't be present. You can't be free if something has power over you.
that's my
And if it's
biggest
something as simple as somebody calls you a name or says that you're less than, then part of you believes that. Dude, I literally I live by that. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say to me, bounce off me and sticks to you. You can't. I don't take anything personal, and anything, even the positivity. Hey, I appreciate it, but
I'll tell
I
you my
can live
biggest
without it.
obstacle is when someone tells me what to do and when they tell me I did something wrong because this for about 3 years I'm being told you can't do this, you can't do that. Where you're not supposed to be here, even though I was in the right place. My monitor went off. Like it's such trauma,
Wait,
man. Like
hold on, Yosh. You're married, so you're always being told what to do. Come on.
no, my wife doesn't count. And so trust me, I'm the type where I say yes to my wife no matter what. I'm like, that's the one rule is no clutter. Besides that, do whatever you want because you literally do everything. So yeah, she's the that she can tell me what to do all she
I know,
wants.
but so channel that. You're having it in one area of your life, but you can't have it in another area. It needs to be that's true equanimity. What people call balance, I call equanimity. There's no balance. There isn't. It's always off. So you want it equanimous, equal parts to everything. So that's where we get off. I'm looking for balance. No, you want equanimity because there is no balance in this world. There's going to be times where you're going to sacrifice sleep for work. Sometimes you're going to sacrifice work for sleep, which was what I did today. I slept in today. I haven't hit the gym yet today. And you know what? It took me a long time to get that mindset to not talk to myself negatively. Usually, if I wouldn't have got up this morning, yeah, dude, the things I'd say to myself, if I said to you, wouldn't be my friend. I'd be like, you're a loser. You're a piece of shit. You don't deserve anything. And this morning, I just had a couple of nights that I did not sleep well, and it all hit me last night. And I was like, I slept 9 hours. And I happen to have a light day today, so I just rolled with it. Now, when I
I
get it
love
done
that.
here, I'm off to the gym. I got a pack for my trip. I'll smoke a cigar, make myself a nice dinner.
Man, you just
Thursday nights are my
motivated
alone
me
nights.
so much. About the gym because I have not been. I just been running. I haven't been lifting weights, but I know I have to. And you just motivated me. I'm like ready
Hold
to
on.
lift.
You don't have to. You get to.
I know.
Change that reframe. You get to. I
I get
get to
to.
go lift weights.
Yes.
That's an honor. That's the time that I feel the best in every day when I'm at the gym. And a little cheat code for your listeners, I listen to podcasts when I'm at the gym or books because I'm alert at all. I want to get better. I want to get bigger. I want to learn more. I'm a freaking sponge. I just want, and that's time that I just can get better. And so why zone out in music or anything else? I'm just going to continue. Now it gets a little distracting. If I'm listening to a really good podcast like this one and you get little
Ah,
bangers, I got to stop and I put notes, and that's on the newsflash too. In my phone, I got a little note section and I nonstop put notes in. And that's where I get my inspiration for my daily videos. And I still do those daily videos. People love them. It's a lot easier now because I've read thousands of books. I've done 350 podcasts, and
jeez.
I, oh man, and all the therapy. It's like I am
Now
an
you just gotta
expert.
run for president and you're good.
Well, we have the felony, so maybe.
That's true. Yeah. That is funny because somebody came to my temple that was running for like Congress or something. Yeah, like even had his name tag, and I'm like, I want to let you know, no matter what you say, that I can't vote for you. He's like, why? I'm like, I just can't. Don't worry, it's nothing against you.
Yeah, that was embarrassing for years. I had the same thing, man. It's the stigma that comes with that is so stupid. I understand we need to revamp so many laws,
You know,
term limits. I mean, first of all, if anybody's in jail for selling weed, they should be released
uh,
because it's legal. So that's number one. I don't care if it was thousands of pounds. It's legal now. So they should release those. But the system is set up to keep the system going, and it's sad.
but also they want to break you where you give in. That was the hardest part. Like if you don't have the resources or you get mentally, destroyed, they try to get you to just be like, okay, fine. I don't care if I did it or not. I'm just gonna take whatever you give me because I just can't do it anymore.
What were they teaching you?
And I was
Sur-
weak.
surrender to surrender. It's just surrender and stop trying to control things you cannot control. It's the resistance. Don't resist the resistance. That's what we all do.
I know.
You've missed some of the best gifts because it's still fresh. Just wait. You're going to be sitting here on a podcast in 3 years going, Kelly was right. These were gifts.
I'm already gonna
And
say that.
but it's just so fresh because it's still, you just touched that hot stove. But I'm telling you,
It is
every
fresh.
single time. So here's a newsflash. I got thrown out of my college for selling drugs. And when they threw me out, I was like, hey, I'm not convicted yet. And they're like, yeah, but you made one hell of a noise. And so I sat there as a 20-year-old kid with the dean. I went to Western Michigan University, 50,000 kids. And I'm sitting with the dean of discipline, and some other guy. To this day, I don't know who he was. I think he might have been a cop, and negotiated my way back into school by myself at 20. That's when I knew I had the gift of speaking, because they said you're suspended indefinitely. I go, what does indefinitely mean? They're like, indefinitely. And they go, what is your plan? I go, I know you guys expect me to run home with my tail between my legs, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to beat these charges. I'm going to enroll in the community college down the street. And I want to know the earliest time I can come back in and reapply. And the freaking room goes silent. And I said, by
Jeez.
the way, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? They said, you made too much commotion. This made CNN. Our fraternity house got raided. He's like, you made too much commotion. So we've got to
I
take
hear you,
swift
my
action.
man.
But he goes to me, he goes, you're going to go to the community college? And I said, yeah. And he said, you go to the community college and you get good grades. You come back to me in 1 year. You have my word, I will reinstate you. And I
Wow.
said, put that in writing. He goes, you have my word. I can't put it in writing because it's got to look like we're being serious. He goes, come back with this charge taken care of, come back with good grades, and I'll reinstitute you. I went to the community
Man.
college, got 4 grade points. I did my time. I did it on work release. So I went to
My God.
college. I had to go in and have all my professors sign papers that I was in class. It was so embarrassing, Yosh. But what was it doing? Teaching me resilience and humility. Because if you're not humble, you will be. And I went back in a year and he reinstated me and I graduated
Wow.
on time. And when 5,000 kids graduated with me, this freaking dean who doesn't know anybody looks at me and he grabs me and he's like, Mr. Siegel, you're an amazing human being. He goes,
You
but
are,
I didn't
man.
doubt you for a second because you're convinced. He goes, you never wavered, never. And I just think I was too young to know the difference. And I think that they were challenging me and telling me I couldn't do something.
Yeah.
It's just a no-no. But I made that sound really pleasant. It was the hardest freaking thing in my life. My grandparents, who kind of took over for my parents, disowned me for a couple of weeks. I got thrown out of my fraternity house. thrown off campus. You find out who your friends are, man,
Yeah.
and you find out fast. So, at the time, the night after I got out of jail, what did I do? I went out and got drunk, and act like it was no big deal. But then, it was a big deal. I learned really fast that they were not messing around, and they were willing to bend the truth and break the law to put me in.
Yeah, man. It's
And
true.
it sucked, but the only thing I can tell is just don't put yourself in the situation where you ever could get your freedom taken away, or lay down with dogs, you get fleas. Don't lay down with dogs. What I
Yeah.
mean is don't hang out with shitty people. Protect your freaking ecosystem. Say no 10 times more than you say yes.
I have people that don't talk to me anymore. I'm just like, whatever. It was never meant to be that. It's my family doesn't talk to me, but even though like in the end they realize the results show I didn't do anything, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Every day is
Unfortunately, you got a freaking felony now, and to the courts, it looks like it. But I will tell you this much: it took 20 years for me petitioning the court, and I did, and I got it expunged. Now I carry a gun. I can vote. I can do all the things. So there's hope.
yeah. No, I know it's gonna be okay in the end. It's just like you say, it's all fresh right now, and I'm still processing my life, but I'm in a pretty good place. Thank
But the
God.
good news is you have the Jewish New Year coming up. So
Yeah.
pray a little differently this year during
Yeah, I
Rosh
just hope Yom Kippur goes a little different.
Hashanah. God, I got you loud and clear last time. Please don't do that again.
I haven't had a Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah in about 3 years where I didn't have a monitor tied to my ankle, so I'm gonna feel, like, very good and present, so no distractions.
But
It's
you're gonna appreciate it this year. I can tell you that much. It's
I appreciated my first birthday, my first anniversary with nobody calling me every 2 seconds, where I could actually go to a restaurant, like, I'm the definition of and then you are too, appreciate what you have, like, stop complaining. It's just stupid.
Yeah, you can complain, but it ain't gonna do any good.
Yeah, no, no, yes, I always like I could complain, but who wants to hear it and where's it gonna go? So before you go, can I have a couple of things? I want to talk about harder than life. I could kind of guess based on looking at you where the name came from. I mean, can you
You
tell a
know
little bit
what?
about the history of it?
It's funny you're asking about this. I'm name dropping because I've become really good friends with him. John Gordon said to me, he's on my podcast recently, and he goes, "You're no longer harder than life, are you?" And I was like, "I'm not." Harder than life for me was born during the pandemic when things were really, really hard, really hard. And I just said, we had this is resilience and perseverance. And that's the thing I was known for, and discipline, hard nose. And at the time, I thought everything had to be hard or else it
Yeah,
wasn't worth it. And now I've integrated all of the feelings and fears and insecurities and trauma. Really, that's what it is. It's the childhood trauma that you've got to process and integrate. And once I did that, all of a sudden things got easy. So the first book was harder than life. Second book is happier than life. The third book is going to be healthier than life. And I'm going to term it get your mind right, then your grind right, because I did it in reverse order. I had my grind right and my mind was all wrong. And so many of us do that.
yeah,
So harder than life just meant being tough and persevering, everything we just discussed. But now I'm telling people to be harder than life means to just let go, let God, surrender, and use the power of the law of attraction and karmic law and just put good things out and good things will come back, and do good things. And watch those power of your words, man. Because if you sit
yeah,
here and say it's hard and you can't, it will be hard, and and then you won't be able to do it. So always think positive and speak what you want. That's why I do that priming exercise every morning. I literally am manifesting the feelings, because your thoughts become feelings, your feelings become words, and actions become your life. So I think, because what are we actually chasing after? We're not chasing after a new car, a new house, a new life. We're chasing after the feeling of achieving it.
yeah,
So if I can get that feeling right now by just imagining it in my head, I can then set up the actions I need to achieve it. But all too often, like people say, I believe it when I see it, but they got it backwards. You'll see it when you believe it. And if you keep priming your mind, you will believe it, and then you will
I
embody
love
it.
that.
And then it will have the universe will have no choice but to give it to you. But be careful what you wish for,
Yeah,
because you'll get it. And sometimes it comes with major, major tests. I made a decision 7.5 years ago to quit drinking. and thought everything in my life would get better. And
Mm.
it did for a minute. And then the test came and it was like, okay, you're at a fork in the road. What are you going to do, Siegel? And I could have said, you know what? It's been a couple years. I think I can go back to drinking. But I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue down this path. And then God made it very, 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 very hard on me and tested me, tested me, tested me, tested me. And I passed it. I'm one of the most disciplined people you'll ever see. And it's just, there's no going backwards. I'm going forward no matter what. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Feeling is healing. But I am softer than life now, but I won't give up.
I just want to ask you one more question. For somebody who thinks they lost everything, maybe I'm being a little biased on myself, and they think that there's no hope. What would you tell them? How to start over again?
Trying to think of a better instance than R2 because it's not everybody got arrested. Sometimes it looks like they're just down and out. And I would go back to what we said over and over and over. The power of being present. I would get a notebook out and I would just write and I would look for some commonalities and what's good. And then you're going to hear everybody talk about gratitude, and gratitude does work, literally. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful that I got arrested. It made me absolutely go straight and narrow. It also made me appreciate my freedom. It made me understand that freedom is a privilege. It can be taken away. And I
Yeah.
also understand this much, that you can be physically free, but still be in prison in your mind. And I
Yeah.
was. And I was. So I'm grateful for all that time. And I used it very wisely. I ended up getting all A's. I negotiated with my probation or the parole officer that I could stay at school between classes and work out. So I got really big in jail. I moved it so I was out of jail 10 to 12 hours a day. And then I had to go back and sleep there. So I manipulate everything towards me. So it's like the pandemic where everybody's day drinking and doing
Yeah.
nothing. I ordered a home gym, started a brand, wrote a book. I use the time that people think is for fun and games to sharpen my axe. And I think that is what my superpower is besides being super disciplined. And so I would just tell you nothing lasts forever. Keep going and this too shall pass. And it will be replaced with something greater, but you have to change something because if nothing
Yeah.
changes, nothing changes. And I love this analogy. Life's merry-go-round. You go round and round and round. Remember those merry-go-round? And then you puke because you're dizzy. Get off that freaking merry-go-round before you puke, before you get dizzy. We've all been on it. And jump on
Yeah.
life's roller coaster and ride those ups and downs because you know what? That means you're living, your heartbeat. And the beauty part about climbing up that mountain is you're going to have fun riding down. And then when you're in that valley, coming another mountain right after that. So just be there and be with yourself because wherever you go, you take you with you. And I'll
Man, I
tell you
love
one
that.
more, your ceiling in your life is the healing that you're willing to do. The willingness to look in the mirror and realize you are the answer and the problem and owning that. That's what Jocko Willink called radical accountability. Owning that you are responsible. Listen, I know you can sit here and say that you didn't do anything. And I know there's certain things you can't say. There was probably a couple of inklings where you were like, something doesn't smell right here. You could feel it in your gut, like this isn't passing the smell test. Maybe I should investigate. We are not victims. Nobody is a victim. Don't be a victim. Own your life, be agency in it, and
Yeah.
realize what is something you can do today. And it's simple. I gave it to you, the TLC approach, train, learn, coach. And if you guys email me, I will connect you with people that are free, that are up and coming coaches, that are up and coming therapists, you can get free books. You can go to the library. All of the TLC method is free.
I love
So
it.
there's no excuses.
Hell, you're an amazing person, man. You're like America's person.
Well,
Seriously.
I received that. And all I want to do is, you said hope. Hope isn't a strategy, but it is this. It's help one person every day. And if one person hears this podcast and they decide to make a change or they put down the drinking and drugs
Yeah.
or anything that we said resonated with them, I want to hear from you because that's why I do this because I was there. And you know what? 6 inches one way or the other, I would have been shot and dead. 6 inches of stabbing, I could have been dead, but I keep being here. So I'm going to pay it forward. There's a reason why we're all here. There's definitely a big reason that I'm here. And I'm just getting started and just getting warmed up. And
I can't wait.
I want to help everybody and have fun. And life is really good. And it's good right now, even though it's not. I'm in the tunnel right now. I'm not the dude I used to be. I haven't quite figured out who I'm gonna be. I'm right in between. So I'm in between. This is what Hard Life was: grind, 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 grind. And then now I've been saying, okay, let's surrender and let's attract. And it's happening and it's weird. It's unfamiliar. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. And then what I mean by that specifically is when something's unfamiliar, that's growth. So
Yeah,
when you
I
go to the
agree.
gym and you
Yeah,
work out and you rip your muscles and you feel that pain, that's growth.
yeah.
Accept it. So when something is uncomfortable or you're triggered, say, I listened to Kelly on Yosh's podcast, and that's a portal to the next level me. Let's go, baby. And I'm telling you, you keep doing that and leaning in and leaning in. That's the definition of being harder than life. Because most people are asleep at the wheel.
That's for
They just
sure
keep
true.
going around on that freaking merry-go-round. And that saddens me.
And me too, man. Yeah, it does. It does. And then that's why, like you, I just want to be there for people. I want to, I'm not an expert. I haven't read as much as most, but I think when you live certain things, you could give advice and you could hopefully help people.
Well, remember, we're God's people, so we have with much is given, much is expected.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I hope both of us could accomplish. Give yourself a chance and, use the people and the tools and the resources around you to grow and to get through struggles because that's why we're here. We're here to help.
Yeah, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time and to make an impact. And
Yeah.
it goes fast, man. Like I said, we're talking about something 30 years ago, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. Like it was yesterday. I remember college. I remember when the cops busted down the door to come in. Like, where are the drugs? I said, "You're too late. We did them all." I was like, "You come in last night, you would have got us, but there's nothing here."
Oh man, you showed them.
No, 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 no. They got me.
Yeah, they will.
Hey, in the end, they got me.
I want to have I do a little speed round where it's like stupid questions, like multiple choice. I hope that's okay.
I love stupid questions. I love
Okay.
fun questions. Just be careful what you ask for because I'm going to be blunt and honest because I have
No,
no
that's what I
shame.
want, man. It's all I Okay. The first one I'm really excited about. Be honest, how many times a day do you look in the mirror and think, damn, I'm ripped?
A lot. I think that, because there was times where I thought I was unlovable. To be serious, I grew up with my parents just were not good to me and they were not good to themselves. I thought I was unlovable, unworthy, and just flat out bad. And I kept making that real. And so I look at myself and that's why I high five myself in the mirror and say, I love you because I do. And I look at myself and I love who I am because for many, many years I didn't. And when social media first started and we'd take pictures, I would always see my blotted skin from the alcohol and puffy. And I'm just proud. I measure the gain and not the gap. I'm not worried about where I'm headed. I'm worried about how far I've come.
Yeah.
So I'd look at a lot. I do have a little body dysmorphia where like I posted yesterday, I'm doing these new posts where I don't send it to my editing team. I literally just record what's on my mind,
Like you
post.
have body dysmorphia. I wanna have your body.
Well, you should see that my post yesterday. I felt like fat
My
because my
God, I hate
angle,
people like you
my
then. I
angle
hate
was goofy. So
Oh my
I find
gosh.
myself to be, I'm so happy to be 50 and aging well and aging in reverse. And I love myself. I like
Yeah,
how I
I didn't
look.
have a beard until my wife said you're getting a double chin. I never grew a beard. So
Well, right about your age is when my beard turned gray. So you can see there's a little stubble. I'm going to shave tomorrow. But if I let this grow out any longer, it's all gray.
I got some Santa spots. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I do a lot. I love
You
myself.
should.
I love the way I work hard and I love myself because there was a time that I didn't.
Me too. So it's good. If you work hard, you deserve it. You shouldn't brag about yourself to yourself. Maybe other people. It's okay. If I follow your exact workout tomorrow, am I getting ripped or am I going to the hospital?
You would die. You would die. We I work out with a bodybuilding trainer and
Whoa.
he's going through a nasty divorce and he takes it out on me. And like when I'm with him, nobody could survive that because we
Oh my
train.
gosh.
So One set is 3 different exercises with the heaviest possible weight. Like when I started working out with this guy, I'm like, you're insane. This can't be good for us. And then now I'm used to it. So when I don't work out with him, I'm like, oh, this is so easy. But
I
I live,
love feeling like I'm gonna die after a workout. I love that feeling.
well, ours is like mid feeling. Like we were doing legs the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna puke. So we go
Yes.
a typical like I said, that 150s that I was repping with. And if you watch, I do one arm at a time. So everything we do is very hard, very controlled, and
Good.
heavy, 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 because that's the key to getting bigger. I'm not trying to get bigger anymore, but it's still it's that if the heavier you lift,
They would
the
need a
more.
bigger screen if you got more built, man. I'm telling you, jeez.
You know, it's funny, Yosh, when you meet me in person, you'll see like I'm a tree trunk. I'm bigger in person than you can
God,
see.
I'm a little scared.
It's fun.
This is what I love too. If you have to give up one forever, weights, your phone, or coffee.
Phone, easy.
Ew.
That's
Yeah.
not even a choice. Coffee and the gym. I live for coffee. You know, one of the simplest moments, if
Love my coffee, man.
the simplest moments is grabbing a coffee. And when I'm in Florida, I have a penthouse and I could see, and I love sitting on the balcony watching the sun come up or go down. And when I'm here, I just go in my backyard and my pool, and I just able to just take a minute and be peaceful and have a cup of
Awesome.
coffee, and the amount of gratitude that
Hmm.
just consumes my body. But this phone, I
Seriously.
hate this phone.
I wasn't allowed to use the internet for during house arrest, so I loved having like a phone that had nothing on it.
Oh my God. I think the phone is making us stupid. Just watch people get on an airplane. They're on speakerphone. It's the phones have made
When
us
we started
all
talking to
dumber.
ourselves with AirPods, that's when we just lost our mind. When people look at you like, "Who are you talking to?" "Oh, you're talking to talking to someone through AirPods." Like we're literally like everything's out loud too. Like you need to hear everyone's conversation. Drives me crazy.
Yeah, the phones have made us ignorant, and it's sad. Love taking, since I get up so early, I take 6 a.m. flights everywhere I go. And I see people getting on the plane at 5:30 in the morning. Who are you talking to?
I know, man. Oh my god. I know. That's why I also get up early because I love having my coffee with everyone else asleep. I like
Yeah,
when it's my alone time, just me and my coffee and maybe my dog. Best time.
very nice. Very nice.
Okay, I got two more. What's one thing that you're absolutely terrible at? Which it might be nothing.
Listening. You know what I'm terrible at? And this is funny. Patience. Patience in relationships. I'm really bad in romantic relationships. It's just what I'm working on. I'm really bad at, here's another thing, doing nothing, being a human being instead of a human doing. But I'm getting better at that. And every single area, I love criticism.
It's
Every
a
single area where I'm bad at, believe me, this, I'm working on it.
it's
Advice
up
I can give anybody in this world, and I don't take this advice, is to listen 90% of the time, talk 10% of the time. God gave you 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth for a reason to use in that proportion, but I don't.
I tell people all the time I love negative feedback because I like growing. And if you don't listen to the feedback, how are you going to? You don't know everything.
I find it funny that you said negative feedback. Feedback doesn't have to be negative.
Okay.
It's neither positive or negative. You labeled it negative.
See, you just gave me feedback. And I love it.
Most things that happen to us are not positive or negative. It's the emotion we tie to it that makes it positive or negative. To me, I think everything is positive. Everything is happening for you. That's positive.
I want to ask you one last question. What's one thing that you want to accomplish so much if you don't? You're going to be like, I wish I worked harder on that to get that done.
I want to be the number one podcast in the self improvement category. I want to knock Mel Robbins off of their seat, and we're going to. Literally, if it kills me, we're going to do it. We will be the number one self improvement podcast on Spotify next year. If it kills me, I will do it. Part of that is I have to heal more, because you can hear when I'm in some of my podcasts, still some of my childhood traumas coming out, and I have to heal all that and integrate all of that so I can be calm, cool, collected, and bring as much value to the listeners as I possibly can. And I'm just going to keep going until I get there. We're adding 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So please, anybody that's new to me, head over to Harder Than Life on YouTube and follow us. We're pouring our heart into that, and it's growing fast. At some point, it should hockey stick. So we'll be number one. But I also do that while I'm running an AI, IT cybersecurity company, which is very challenging. When we run a full-time company and I'm the leader of the company and you're running a big brand and I'm a father and I write books and I do coach, but I don't charge people. I just grab people that are in need. So my schedule is full. That's why we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So much going on. It's ridiculous. And part of that is it's the season of growth right now. I'm in a season of growth because I just came out of season of healing and I can't unsee what I was missing. And I got a lot of podcast episodes. Anybody wants to understand how I did it, I break them all down. I have 2 shows a week. Tuesdays, I interview guests like you're doing with me right here. And Thursdays, I do coaching sessions. So I just say, here's what I do. So all of the workout plans, all of the meals, all the mindfulness, mindset stuff, and even a lot of business AI stuff I put out for free. So tune into those and you can pick this brain all you want. If there's something that anybody wants to hear, email me it and I'll do a whole show on that. I love doing those. When people say, can you tell us your diet plan? Sure, let's go. I want to help. But before we end, I want to ask you a question. So
Sure,
you're coming
please.
out of a dark season. We're coming into the Jewish holidays again, and you get to go and repent for your sins on Rosh Hashanah. What are you going to repent for, and what are we going to be talking about in your life? What's it going to look like this time next year?
I think it's gonna be more being thankful than anything. The fact that I'm able to move forward. It doesn't mean I didn't do anything wrong. Everyone has their demons and their tough time, but I think I'm just gonna be, and I'm getting a little emotional now. I'm just gonna be so emotional being able to connect God in a way I wasn't able to for a long time, where I feel like I have a clear head and I feel free. So I think I'm just gonna be so thankful. I think it's gonna be all about thanks and thinking about my family and thinking about the people I've met through this journey. I'm just going to tell God, thank you for letting me move forward and continue my path. I think that's how I'd have to answer now, because I'm so thankful that everything's done, and I'm thankful that I've met amazing people. And I'm thankful I have a journey, I have a path that I would have never found out about without all this. So I
May I
just
offer
want
you
to
some
thank,
advice?
please.
That was pretty vague. Very
Okay,
easy thing to say. What I would suggest you do is go and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing any better or knowing better and not acting on it. I'm picking up a lot of regret. My guess is you knew something was going on or you didn't speak up or you didn't investigate. There's agency that we have. Forgive that guy and release it, because I want to see you in a year be ranked in the podcast, be making money off of it, be helping people, have a coaching community. I
thank
want to
you.
hear specifics. Said it. That's why I prime.
Sorry.
If you go to my journal or if I told you my priming thoughts, it's the number one podcast in the self-improvement category. Very specific.
I
So
think,
think of
Kelly, I feel like I disappoint a lot of people, whether it's my fault or not. I like when people say they're proud of me. I mean, that word means more to me than anything, because, yeah, it's not like I'm a little kid. I said, "Oh, well, daddy, I took the trash out. I'm proud of you." Now, when you're an adult and you've been through your toughest times, at least me, where I felt like I was worthless, hearing people saying they're proud of me is my life. It's my journey. And that's what I want. That's what I want more of.
You just made my point. Sorry to cut you off. Be
No,
proud of yourself. Everything that you have. I want all your listeners to hear this. Everything you require in life, you can supply. I went searching for love in all the wrong places. Guess what? I can love myself. I put my hand on my heart and I can supply all the love that I needed as a child. You want to feel worthy? What have you done? You got a laundry list. And I'm speaking to your entire audience and you. You have a laundry list of things that you've done. Start
yeah,
talking with you woke up today. You were meaningful today. You did something nice for somebody. You made money. You had a kid. You were married. I can't tell enough is I want you to just forgive yourself, because I'm picking up that's
I
exactly what it
need
is.
to.
You're still grinding and
I need to forgive myself for being so hard on myself.
there you go. And you're being hard on yourself because one of your parents or both of your parents were hard on you. And I would forgive them for doing the best when they didn't know any better. That was all your listeners got to hear this. Most of all of our limiting beliefs are really thoughts that are magical lies. Your parents both loved you. My parents were brutal to me. They loved me. They just didn't know how to create
Yeah.
safety, or show love. But when you forgive them, you take back your power and then you'll ascend to your next level. But as long as you're still holding on to that trauma, I said it, your ceiling is your healing. You're being gifted. Hey, you feel like you're unworthy, which is a complete crap because you're very worthy. Look at you. You
Thank
got
you.
me on your
That's
podcast.
true.
You're
That's
friends with
true.
Sean French, who's the number 5 podcast in his category right now. So you're doing good things. You're worthy.
Thank
And that
you.
goes for all of you. We're humans. We are made in the image and likeness of God. We are all worthy. Don't you think for a second that you're not worthy, because gosh darn it, that's the devil winning. And I don't want to see that at all. And I want everybody to know that they matter. And I'm not saying that to get on the thing, because I've been there. I've been in the point where I didn't think I was worth a crap and I didn't deserve love. And I was flat out bad.
Well,
And it's
Kelly,
no
I
place to be.
I love you, man. I really like all I can think about is I can't wait to meet you and give you a hug and say thank you. I really mean that. I'm honored to have you, and I'm honored to call you a friend. It really you read me, so thank you. This is what I need through my recovery. This, if anything, just having someone listen to my voice and and want to guide me when you could be doing so much more. It's such an honor. It means so much to me. This is what's making my life complete again. I really mean it.
You said thank you, but how you can thank me is to keep going,
I will.
keep
You have my
improving, and take the advice. What do they say? Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. I'm 7 years on you, but I just got to the place of absolute forgiveness, gratitude, and peace. I am in joy, peace, and purpose all the time. So don't waste the 7 years that I did. Start now. Well, you
I'll make
started
you
now, but
proud. You have
really
my
hammer
word.
it.
I will. Thank you so much for being here, Kelly.
Proud of
Seriously,
you. Proud of you, kid.
thank you. That's all I want to hear. Really, thank you, and I hope to see you soon. I really do.
Appreciate it. I'll be down there in a couple weeks.
All the
Actually, funny
best.
thing is, I'm going to be down there for Rosh Hashanah, and I got to jump on a plane to get home to my family, and I got to get back to my family.
Well,
So
if you
coming
want to come to
down,
me for a meal, you're more than welcome.
going right back.
We have a nice apple dipped in honey, and we got some. We got a nice fish head on the table. So if you want to come,
Who makes the gefilte fish?
So it used to be my wife's grandmother, who actually lived with us for 5 years until she passed away. She was the gefilte fish queen. Now my wife makes it. She
But
makes it
did
really
she
good.
get the recipe?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, my wife.
It's
My
got to be
wife is
good.
actually
Great.
she's a very good cook. Thank God, 'cause I can't cook for the life of me. She also she makes the challah. She does it all, man.
Yeah, you hit the. You know what? If you
I
ever
did. She
think for a
stuck with me.
second,
So
you convinced the good one, man. Good for you.
yeah, thank God. I don't know what I'd do without her, really. But it is there.
I promise I will definitely connect with you guys when I'm down there more.
I love it. Thank you, Kelly.
Appreciate being here. Thank you for your time. And guys, anybody else, remember, email me for the books or
Please do
any
it. Please
advice.
do it, guys. Kelly, you're the man.
Thanks,
Seriously.
brother.
All the best.